after a great rehearsal with the festival band this morning, I have decided to have a few words with Mr. Zan George, who I know have made a very, very great contribution to the art form here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How are you?
Not too bad. Still doing my best. Still trying to make a contribution on the national scene in the format of playing music and specializing in the guitar.
Well, I know that you have been around in this business for a long, very long, long, long
30 years
time.
now I've been in this struggle, in this vineyard, trying to learn the guitar and trying to perfect what I do.
Over 30 years. Wow, wow, wow. And comparing to over the years that you have been doing this to this year, what would you say?
I think in Simmons and the Grannies, I think we're improving. I think we're getting more sophisticated. I think the musicians are getting more sharper. Even though we're seeing a lot of the mature musicians are not on stage, but I think people are getting more serious and taking the music as a business and striving to eke out a living out of it. Even though the environment is not that conducive as yet, so that you could stand on your own as a musician and make a living. You always have to have your 84 job or something to supplement, complement what you do. But I think we're getting there.
Okay. How many bands have you been playing with?
Well, I played with a lot of
30
bands
years?
over the years. Memory Might Some, I've played Exodus, Rage, Flames. I've done Still with Kinetics. I've done Walk for Touch. But most of the bands, and I've done some bands before. So a lot of the bands. So I've been on with bands for a long while. Plus I've been doing a lot of studio work when I'm dormant, when it is dormant with the band, because you know the band like went down in St. Louis and the Grenadines some years. So I bide my time then as a studio musician. I would have done a lot of studio work for local, regional.
As you mentioned Exodus, and we have just lost a very, very good musician.
Yeah,
Viti.
Ashley.
Condolences
Ashley, he
to
was
the
a great
family.
motivator to me. He was one of my greatest fans. I always motivate you. He's a good soul, and he's rest in peace.
Right. Do you also work out with the children as a teacher?
Yes, that was my days in the classroom. You know, that was the biggest struggle I have. Being in the classroom as a professional, I left the classroom and then going into administration. But music was always there. I think music helped me to do good in the classroom and to be more at ease in the classroom and whatever I do otherwise, because music is that kind of a trade, that kind of a discipline that gives you a kind of assurance and calm so that you can excel in whatever you do.
Okay.
So for example, Teachers College.
Sorry, go ahead.
In Teachers College, when others were there fussing, I was at stage playing Calypso final at night and have exam the next day.
Oh,
But I
really?
was calm because because you do music, you're disciplined, and music helps a lot. So I would encourage persons out there, parents, they have the children, encourage them to do some form of music. It helps academically also.
Okay. In terms of the music, which of the music would have stayed in your mind, as one of the best music that that you have actually played for?
Well, my first recording was Perseverance. That's the first time I'm doing recording.
By
First time
Razam?
doing
Okay.
a studio. That was in Barbados, Eddie Grant studio. That was the first time I was in a studio. That was my first set of riff. Tracks if it is the Perseverance, the guitars in Perseverance. That was my first outing on that album. So Perseverance stand out as a standard mark, and I try to better that all the time. So right now I'm into moving into the line of jazz guitar,
Okay.
guitar jazz, and I'm working on an album right now. Still making my contribution in the other genre, calypso and so, but I'm trying to jazz them up, a twist of jazz so that it could have a Vincentian identity.
Oh, very nice. Because I was just about to ask you how long, do you think you would continue
Well, it's nice.
making your
See,
contribution?
that is one of the big problems we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. there's a perception in Simmons and the Grenadians that music really is for little people or young people. And we find a lot of our mature artists, maybe in music and other things, they're off the stage too early. If you look around the region, you see mature people internationally, persons in the 70s and 80s and the 90s, and they're still on stage, but we're not having that in Simmons and Grenadians. Since a guy is 30 by 40, we're not seeing them. So that in itself is a deterrent, and that's why we're not getting, the fullness of the music, because a lot of the mature persons are off stage and they're not helping to bring up the younger ones.
But when we really look at the young people today, I think definitely something is missing because they're really not into calypso. So is it our fault that we are not really putting it out there to them, or?
I think it's the whole socialization of how we talk. I think with the kind of radio stations, the FM radio station, and the radio station, the kind of music they play, socializing our people differently. It is not all bad, but we're not using social media in a positive way. What we're being consumers really. Basically, we're just being consumers, and we're not creating content and doing things in our own inventions and style and trying to sell it. So we're copycats really. So that is the bad part of it. That is what is kind of hampering us. But I think we have a lot of, all is not lost, we have a lot of young persons coming through now, young artists putting on their own shows and trying to make a business
out of
showing
it.
a business model. Before we had this kind of leisure and setback that is just for party, but we're seeing people trying to make a whole industry and make it into a business now, so that maybe in a few years time we might see the trend and the attitude towards music might change.
Okay. So what are really your encouraging words towards these young people?
Well, first you have to love what you do, especially
That's
in siblings and the grandparents. If you're into music, only few will make $1 million out of it. You have to love it, you have to go at it, you have to keep practicing. Any art form you're into, that is the buzzword. You have to practice, and you have to put in the sacrifice and put in the time, and then you'll get your reward.
That's true. Well, I really want to commend you, and even being here as the festival band doing your thing for the Queen of Calypso competition, which will be held on the 3rd of June. I must really commend all you guys, for the dedication, because it's about dedication, and as you said, you definitely have to love what you're doing. Otherwise you would not get involved in what you're doing.
You look around the persons who survive the music scene in Stevenson, more the mature persons, and you talk to them, they're posting that they love what they do. Even though they're on stage or they're with the instrument doing something, so that you have to get that mindset.
But as you hold the guitar in your hand, let me hear something from you, and in closing. Guys, there you have it, Mr. Zan George, one of the old school guys when it comes to the music here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who has made a wonderful contribution and continue to do his thing, continue to make his contribution year after year.
And thank you, George.
I wish you.
I know you made a contribution too. I know you're from Exodus.
Yeah, I love her way back, right?
Yeah.
That's true, that's
trying
true.
to bring the tent in Georgetown and things. So you continue doing that. What you're doing is very good. This will help to bring more awareness to the persons we have. Because we have a lot of other musicians, mature musicians, who are just undercover, and we need to come out to help our situation.
Right. Thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.